Just this once. And I want to
subscribe.
Card Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. Discover the latest OP10 deck list on gumgum.gg, updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alright, we're going to be live reacting to the finals here at the Orlando Bandai Card Game Fest National Tournament here. It's between CrossAi, and then Kaden Kawakami. And it looks like it was Lucci versus Black Yellow Luffy. So yeah, tried and true matchup. A little disappointed that it's like the same leaders that we've been seeing since like 07 now. So yeah, not too excited. Both decks aren't even using new cards either, so probably gonna know how this matchup is gonna go. It's very heavily BY Luffy flavored, but let's just jump right into it. Yeah, shout out to Michael Emiofa, right? He is someone who at the very beginning of the life cycle of this game, he had more subs than me, but even back then he shouted me out and stuff, so I really appreciate that. And yeah, I've always shouted him out too, way in the early stages of my YouTube career. So yeah, always had a chill relation with him. So yeah, glad to see he's on the national stage here. So he does swing 8 on his second turn. Meanwhile, Lucci had nothing on his 2-don turn. Yet nobody develops anything as we catch up to the game here. So yeah, Black Yellow Luffy is going to be concentrating on leader looping with Gecko Moria to keep his board immune to KOs. So Lucci has nothing he can do against the board. And then yeah, 9k base leader, hard to attack into. So it just plays out a vanilla Lucci 4-cost 6k here. Right, nothing to KO, but still a body to attack with later on. We do see a 4-cost Kuzan that's going to be really tricky for the Lucci to deal with, right? He needs to answer it, or else the 8-cost Gecko Morias later on can get answered with a Kuzan attack and then an Egghead Luffy pop. So it does counter the leader hit for 2k and then plays out the Kuzan, draws a card. Does have a Dawn up? No, he does. Yeah, it does for Garp. Everyone just taps things in their own order though. Let's see, he finds 2 5-cost Luffys, a 2-cost Luffy, and then the last card is a Sabo or something like that. But yeah, every Luffy that he needs is searched there. Picks up the 2-cost, the baby Luffy. Right, that's part of his combo to stay at 9k in the late game. He brings back the 2-cost Luffys with his Gecko Moria. He uses leader ability to put the 5-cost in his life, and then you're able to do that a few times. Make it really hard to end. And attack into your opponent too for 11k. Right, that's really strong. Lucci doesn't have too many resources to deal with that besides just playing a bunch of like jump blockers and then swinging your Gecko Moria 9ks at them to make them lose 1 card in hand. So it is the Lucci's 6th-on turn now, right? Let's see what he does. So he does finally swing 5k just to start filling his discard. Because yeah, sometimes you do want to just starve out the BY Luffy player by not giving him cards in hand and also not getting him at a low enough life total to start using his leader ability too efficiently. But yeah, he does have to attack here to give -1 cost to the Kuzan to play this 5-cost Kaku that can KO a 3-cost that does kill the Kuzan, allowing for a safer 8-cost Gecko Moria play later on. So I like that. Passes the turn. Does not swing with the Lucci, so we're still in like starving mode. So it is 7 Dawn now for the Luffy, right? Is it 7? Yeah, it is 7. Could develop another Kuzan if he has it, or just the Sabos at this point to try to find your 8-cost Gecko Morias for next turn. I didn't quite catch if he already had one in hand, but I do know he has a Sabo. I saw the Sabo. Okay, looking like 5 Dawn here for one of the brothers. It's the Sabo, of course. Draw 2, discard 2. I do think he already has 1 Gecko Moria in hand. I did see some purple, so could discard some 5-cost brothers he don't need at the moment. Okay, so I believe that's the Sabo, alt-art 5-cost Sabo, that one that pops something on board for the price of 1 life. Has a plethora of 2-cost Luffys and Sabos in hand, so he's ready for 8-cost Gecko Moria play. So discards a Luffy as well. Swings 7 at leader. Yeah, the thing with these 7k hits that you are thinking of defending or taking is that a 7k you defend now is an 11k you can take later, right? Because you know those are coming eventually within the next 2 turns. He does take the 7 though. But in the end, that just buys you like another turn to try to rip resources out of the BY Luffy's hand, which sometimes is all you need. But yeah, in this case, he did take the 7. So it is the 8 Dawn turn for Lucci. He could just play a Gecko just to have a big body out if he has one. I think the 9 cost Kaidos would be good in this matchup too, right? It gets rid of the Sabos that make everything on his board immune to KO. Or even gets rid of the 5 cost Luffy that can pop your life, because yeah, it's one of the, like the drivers for the deck when you're trying to starve him. So just play a Tempest Kick. It could be a Jack, but Jack doesn't KO anything because yeah, everything on board is immune to KO at the moment. But does have 7 Dawn to spare. Does play out the Jack, but yeah, just have a body out. He could cycle too. He does cycle with it. Right, he's an 11 cost on board and 8k, so it's hard for the BY Luffy to get rid of it. And I don't think Kaku and Lucci are going to be attacking yet. Yeah, passes the turn. Oh, he does run the Uta, the one that gives -2 cost to something. It's like a really bad version of Annie's Lobby, but because Annie's Lobby is banned, that's the best that Lucci has. Right, it's really good into Doflamingo and stuff like that. Okay, so 1 Dawn on the... Oh no, what's the 1 Dawn tapped for on BY Luffy? Is it 4 actually, but stacked? Okay, I guess it must be. So just play a Kuzan, 4 cost Kuzan to draw a card, and then a Sabo. So yeah, just prepping for the 8 cost Gekko Morias on either side. It seems like. And since BY Luffy's not at 10 Dawn yet, yeah, Gekko's not coming out just yet. And he's at 3 life too, right? He needs a way to start taking life to start using his leader ability. So it's looking like he's still deciding what to discard with the Sabo. Now, did the Lucci player also have a Gekko Moria in hand? I do see a lot of 2Ks in the Luffy's hand. He's thinking about discarding a 5 cost Sabo. Okay, so he's got 2 on board, 1 in discard that he can bring back. Yeah, if you're planning for the Gekko Moria plays anyway, it doesn't really matter too much what you discard at this point, as long as it's not a 2K. Okay, so the 5K at leader is answered with a 1K Rebecca. Passes to the Lucci's turn. Yeah, Luffy's board still immune to KO because of the second Sabo, so maybe 9 cost Kaido could put in some work here if Kaden drew it. Let's see what's he got planned for 10 Dawn. That's all the Dawn for the turn. Discard, I think, doesn't have too much, right? There's the Rebecca. The Lucci won't do anything at this point if he does have 1 in discard, which I don't think he does. But yeah, Gekko into Rebecca to bring back a 2K might just be worth it, just to have a big body out and a blocker. Okay, does Tempest Kick just to draw a card, I think, at this point, right? Because nothing can be KO'd anyway, unless he has a Kaido. But you could save the Kaidos for the Gekko Morias too, right? Leader ability, plus a Kaido can kill 7 cost Gekko Moria at that point. So even Jack uses Jack to cycle 1 more card. He's looking for something, I just don't know what. So he has to discard for the cycle. Looks like he's discarding a Lucci, no counter, and doesn't do much in this matchup. He develop a second Jack. Oh, he does have the Gekko Moria. Okay, let's see what he brings back. I'm assuming a Rebecca, right? Rebecca at the top of his discard. It's Rebecca for sure, or not for sure. It's for sure Rebecca. Does he bring back a second card? No, he just brings back the Lucci to hand. I guess he didn't have a 2K or anything. Okay, so BY Luffy, 10 Dawn, but 3 life, so no need to leader ability loop just yet. Unless he has a way to take 3 life, but I don't think he does. He does have 2 Flampes, that's 2 Dawn, but that's 4K counter out of hand. So he did space out 2 Dawn. Nice. I was thinking, like, did he have 2 Dawn separated for leader ability? Because he plans to take 3 life somehow. But yeah, we can see here, the Kuzan can pop the Gekko Moria if he does have an Egghead Luffy in hand. Right, that's the strength of having this Kuzan out. Okay, does play Flampe. Maybe he is going to take 3 life this turn somehow. Second Flampe. Okay, I stand corrected. He's talking to the judge about something. Oh, he has to replace something on board first. Right, proper sequencing here. Second Dawn tap. Getting a little flustered. It is like the finals, right? It's pretty nerve-wracking to be up there. Okay, can he take 1 more life somehow? He needs like the 5 cost Luffy or a 3 cost, what is that guy? The Ivankov blocker, and then play a 2 cost brother out. He has 3 Geckos in hand. That's pretty relieving to have. Okay, so does swing 5 with the Kuzan, -4 to the Gekko, of course. Yep, he's a 4 cost now. He could Hiyori the Egghead Luffy into life and then play a 2 cost Luffy to pop it out. He does counter 1K to defend that. Yep, Hiyori. Replace the Flampe, takes the life card, puts a Egghead Luffy on top. Yep. And then he has 4 Dawn to play 2 brothers if he wants to. So here's 2 Dawn for the Luffy. Replace Hiyori, pop out the Luffy, and then the leader Luffy is a 7K base at the moment. 2 Dawn on leader to leader ability. But yeah, right now just pops the Gekko Moria, draws a card as well. He has 2 Dawn for another brother too. Probably another Sabo. He does have a 3rd one in discard. He just needs a 2 cost in hand if he has it. I don't think I saw it. Oh, he does have it. Okay, never mind. So yeah, 3rd Sabo coming out. That is crazy strong. So what does he discard to leader ability though? Does he want to swing with the other blockers though? Right, he'll have a 1 life buffer and be a 9k base. The Kaku and Lucci will need 3 Dawn each to even threaten a 1k counter. So it might be safe to swing with these Sabos. So yeah, plays out the 2-cost Sabo, pops it out. Whole board's immune to KO. Luffy is a 9k base leader at the moment. Can swing 11 at the Jack, or probably just go for life, right? But he'll do the draw 2, discard 2 for now. He runs Raigos too. Jackson and Cross both run Raigo. Okay, does get chump blocked by that Rebecca, the 11k swing. And does not swing with the Sabos either, just passes. Very safe. Right, he has 3 Geckos in hand, so you can block with these Sabos and replay them. So it's no big deal to leave them up as chump blockers for now. And then attack with them when you want to go for game, when you're confident, right? Lucci's still at 3 life, so yeah, makes sense to me why he didn't swing. I just got antsy. Just want to see things die, you know? So Lucci probably wants to play another Gekomori if he has it. Does swing 6k into the Kuzan. This Kuzan will probably be let go. Okay, does give -1 cost to one of the Sabos. He could block counter 1, but... Or he could just chump, right? Because he's going to replay the Sabos anyway. Or counter 2k. But then, yeah, he has to defend against the Kaku and the Lucci and then the Jack hit as well. So this Kuzan's probably dead. Right, it's not worth to keep him alive. So it's looking at discard, yeah, right? Because he's going to start playing the Geckos into Sabos after that. Yep, he just lets it die. So nothing else on board can attack into leader. There's nothing else to attack unless he puts stun on Jack. Okay, he does, just to burn a 1k, right? You gotta get your incremental advantages here. Does chump block with the Sabo to save counter in hand, and it's gonna be replayed next turn anyway. Yeah, I like that they let the American players use dice. I know in the Japanese streams, on the official streams, they don't let them use dice and stuff to indicate stuff. Okay, does attach 3 Dawn to Lucci. Okay, so no Gecko Moria play. 4, this is 10. We could see another Sabo chump here. Yeah, those 3 Gecko Morias are gonna be like very, very like insurance, very good insurance, guaranteed insurance against this matchup here. So just chump block to 10k, plays a Rebecca to finish the turn. What does he look for? Just counter? Okay, he picks up a Brook, can play out a 3 cost or less black card, but he doesn't. Right, just need defense at this point. He's pretty low on 2ks, right? He hasn't picked up a 2k with the Rebecca, the 2 Rebeccas that he's played. Has not found him any 2k counters. But yeah, that's just the reality of Lucci nowadays. They'd run like 7 or 8 2ks only. Okay, so does play out the Gecko. Yeah, here comes the leader Lupin. So it's always Luffy Sabo. We saw this in the last video, the Swiss rounds. Jackson playing BY Luffy does the exact same combo. That's what everyone does nowadays. It's too strong. So yeah, Luffy out. You can pop the Rebecca, then leader ability, and then pop out a Sabo. He'll still have 1 life. And then he can do this 2 more times because he has 2 more Gecko Morias in hand. It's looking like a foregone conclusion at the moment. Because the Lucci didn't play a big drop last turn, right? If you can't go toe-to-toe with playing a big character to attack into your opponent turn after turn, I think it slowly pulls further in favor of the BY Luffy, right? He needed like a Kaido or a Gecko Moria last turn to even like stay in this. Because yeah, this 11k can go at... Oh, it's going at leader. Okay, not at a character. Right, that makes sense because any other attacks from this Lucci requires like 3 Dawn minimum, which rules out any other high Dawn plays for the Lucci for the turn. Okay, Lucci on top deck mode at the moment. I mean, like Kaido could still swing this around, get rid of the Gecko Moria, right? That would relieve a lot of pressure, not having to defend against an 11k plus a 9k that he just played. So Jack swings 9 here. I mean, you just chump, right? Because you have 2 more Geckos in hand. He does throw a 1k for this. Okay, leader 5k. Just to mill 2 and -1 cost to Gecko. Maybe he did pick up a Kaido. Right. The reason Kaido works is Kaido can trash a card, not KO it, so it can bypass the Sabo's effect. Ooh, I do see the Kaido. Nice. Yeah, this can bring him potentially back into the game. Right, gets rid of a lot of pressure here. And then he has to discard a card in hand, discards a Shirahoshi, and passes. Okay, I like it, but still 2 more Geckos on Cross's side. So hopefully Kaden has 2 more Kaidos to answer it. So here's another Gecko, and Kaden's like, yeah, of course. Yeah, I like that. You can see their like facial reactions. So yeah, we're gonna see Sabo Luffy again. Luffy can even KO like the Lucci still at this point. Or he could just keep it up to attack with, right? You want to save it for like blockers, things that'll like get in your way of lethal. But he does have a full board, that's the thing. That's okay, right? He has space. Pops the Sabo out. Yeah, it's looking like he's going to keep the Luffy as an attacker for next turn. Because it's still like a 2k that the Lucci has to answer with. And it's not like Lucci's going to be attacking you. It's 3 Sabos on board, another Gecko in hand. It's looking pretty grim though. But the Kaido does help. Right, so 11k is at leader? I'm assuming he does take it. Yeah, you're on a clock, right? How many 11ks can you afford to take before you can burn out the cards in the BY Luffy's hand? That's how this matchup goes. But yeah, he also didn't need to defend against Gecko Mori at 9k this turn, so that does like buy him a lot of breathing space. 3 Rebecca's in discard. So, what would be the player? So Kaido attacks, gets chumped by Sabo. Dawn on Jack attacks 9, chumped by Sabo. So I think, yeah, like a Gecko Moria into Rebecca to stall, and then keep burning cards out of hand. But yeah, the fact is that he can chump with the Sabos. He's not even burning cards out of hand because he can replay the Sabos for another turn. Right, you just have to hope your opponent doesn't have that 3rd Gecko Moria, but unfortunately we know that he does have it in hand right now. Let's see, separating out 4 Dawn. 5 Dawn? What is that for? Lucci swing for 11? Then Kaku for the remaining 10? Looks like 9k from Lucci. So no big body to answer the Gecko Moria. It might be over. Right. I don't know if you can defend against the Egghead Luffy that can pop your blocker, plus Sabo, plus that Gecko Moria plus the leader hit. And also, yeah, Lucci's run less 5-cost Sabos nowadays too. So every blocker in a Lucci deck can be answered by that Egghead Luffy at the moment because of the current state of the meta. Yeah, Lucci goes up to 11k, gets chump blocked. So 4 Dawn must be for Rebecca. His 4th Rebecca, does he happen to have it? It's crazy that he saw each single one. Okay, he does have it, every single Rebecca in his deck. So what does it bring back? Could be Spandine into like a... Yeah, the Spandine, if he has a Khalifa, he could cycle his hand a bit, but I don't think he has any CP2Ks in his discard at all. He could bring back, what? Spandam? To potentially draw into a 2k. It does replace the Lucci with the Spandine. Spandine? I think that's how you pronounce it, Spandine. There's 2 Span cards in this deck. So he has to return 3 CP type cards to play out a 4-cost or less CP type card. I mean, he could replay out the Lucci, but I don't think that saves him. Even bottom decks one of his Luccis. And yeah, we don't think he has a Khalifa or even the Kaku in discard. The Khalifa would be more useful to cycle to. It's a Spandam, yeah. Just tough pickings in his discard. No matter how much he filled, he didn't find the cards he needs. Doesn't even find it from the search. That's really unfortunate, really unlucky. 2 Jacks and an Ice Age. It might be over this turn. So yeah, passes to BY Luffy. I don't think he even drew for turn, unless I missed it, but yeah. The Luffy attacks 6k, and then he just pops the Spandam, because why not? Draws a card. 9k from Gecko. Probably has a counter for this. Oh no, if it doesn't have any 2ks, it's going to be really rough. It's like 5 cards out of hand. He did have Khalifa in hand already. Okay. 4k, and then one more counter. Okay, so he did have them. They were just in his hand. Put the Brook. Okay, and then leader plays another Gecko, and it's over. Oh, you can just see Kaden's reaction. It's like, come on, a 3rd Gecko Moria, how? And it's not even like he top decked into these at the right moment. He's had these for a while now in his hand. So yeah, Sabo out. Board's immune. Just 1 blocker now though. So this 11k is probably gonna get Lucci to 0. It's on if the Lucci can finish, because yeah, it's not gonna last 1 more turn after that. Okay, even discards his final Gecko Moria, because he needs all the counter to survive. As long as BY Luffy survives, it's over. Right, so he's discarding any non-counter card with the Sabo cycle. So Lucci goes to 0. This is the make or break turn. Lucci has to win here or he loses. Basically, he top decks something. His reaction seems like it was something that he needed. Or maybe he was disappointed that it came now instead of earlier. I wonder how much of a difference it makes, like if you have a poker face or not in this kind of card game. Because yeah, you can give tells away, but does it really matter? I don't know. We'll see what Kaden does for 10 Dawn to try to end the game here. So 1 blocker, 1 life. He needs to get 3 attacks to land. That the Luffy doesn't have counter for. Pretty unlikely though. Luffy does have a pretty big hand. Oh, I think I see at least 5 cards there. And this is a best 2 out of 3, so we'll have 1 more game after this. Maybe even 3 if the Lucci takes the next one. Yeah, sorry, it's a foregone conclusion. I'm pretty sure the BY Luffy wins this. I want to keep hope alive, but yeah, it's looking really grim. I'm already assuming that BY Luffy wins this. Okay, we'll just skip ahead a bit because I'm watching a VOD. Okay, it does swing Kaido 11. If this gets countered, yeah, it's over. Nothing else can do anything at this point. Could just see a scoop here. Or play it out for the sportsmanship. Yeah, it's finals anyway, right? Might as well play it out. Okay, what we see here, I could stall and play 2 blockers or something, but even then, I don't think he has enough counter to survive with 2 blockers. Okay, does swing Jack 9, gets countered 2k, Kaku 9, and then leader 9. Right, that's about it. Yeah, Kaku 9 even has a 2k for that. Leader 9, he can block or counter, doesn't matter. Had the counter for it. Oh my god, how many 2ks do you have in hand? And passes the turn. Allows Cross to swing for lethal here. Nice sportsmanship. Stand up dude, Kawakami. And yeah, it looks like game 1 goes to BY Luffy. Okay, let's skip to game 2 because I have that ability. I wonder if he's from Hawaii. Just because, yeah, there's so many Japanese Americans living in Hawaii. And you can obviously tell Kawakami is a really Japanese-ass last name. But a lot of Japanese in California too, so he could be a Cali boy. I know Cross is from like Arizona, right? But yeah, I'm not too sure what country Emiofa hails from. Okay, so game 2, BY Luffy versus Lucci. You already knew that. I didn't need to announce that. It's game 2 of a game that we just saw. So, first turn, BY Luffy passes, and then second turn, Lucci plays out an Uta. Maybe we'll get to see Uta in action. Right, it does help get rid of the 4-cost Kuzan really easily. So Luffy swings 8 into Lucci. This is a take. Okay, Lucci's turn, 4-dan turn. Could see like a Khalifa, but no, I think you want to keep the 2Ks in hand. Right, and then you don't want to swing with your leader either. It does play out the Khalifa. Okay, I take back what I said. Drops the Uta and discard. Right, I guess that's the best thing, to get 2 cards in your discard, because you're not able to swing with your leader this turn. It drops 2K Kaku as well. So 5-dan turn, we could see still could play out a Kuzan, but it might just die to the Uta. Uta plus a removal card. He does have the Kuzans in hand. 2 of them, in fact. Okay, does swing 5 at lead. Looks like Kaden's considering countering with the Kaku, 2k. Okay, he has a bunch of 2ks in discard now. So plays out the Kuzan and then a Garp or the Three Brothers Bond event. Draws a card though. And then event search. Right? It must be. Or he's thinking. Is there any situation where you wouldn't want to event search? He passes it. Does he know he has a Gecko Moria coming up? Or else why would you want to not play the event? I'm confused. Right? I'm guessing he's worried about bottom decking a Gecko. The statistics are against him in this case, so you don't want a Three Brothers Bond. Right? I don't know. Maybe that could be it. If he had Gecko in hand, he'd be safe enough to do it, but since he doesn't. Okay, so Lucci swings 5. That's the only thing I can assume, not to use the last Dawn for. Okay, so the Luffy player does take it, and he has to read what Uta does. It just gives -2 cost or something. And then it cannot be KO'd by leader attacks. So yeah. Oh, Raigo trigger kills the Uta. That is really bad. He didn't get to use it before it died. Hey, that was a pretty huge misplay at this level of play. But yeah, they've been playing like nonstop for the last 2 days, so I can understand the exhaustion. And usually you're not having to worry about a trigger, right? The Egghead Luffy doesn't trigger because he's at 3 life. This Raigo is like a very specific tech card, so just really unlucky for Kaden to get hit by that. So this throws out the plans on killing this Kuzan, unless he has a Kaku. Kaku could kill it, or else he'd have to do like a Tsudu Brook, which is 2 cards that you don't want to throw out this early on. Okay, it looks like he has to Tsudu it. Oh no. Things aren't going to plan. 3-dan for Brook here. Okay, Rebecca into Brook. That's pretty good. This gets rid of the Kuzan, but yeah, it could have been just Rebecca Brook. He'd have an extra 2k. Right, every point of counter matters. Just really unfortunate. It's already a losing matchup for Lucci, but then also getting these like lucky Raigo triggers. It's like a slap in the face. So I really do feel for him. Okay, so passes back to BY Luffy. Could develop another Kuzan, because yeah, Gecko's coming soon. Right, and the Uta's gone, so any on-field cost reduction is like something you don't have to worry about anymore. Brook can get -1 cost and leader -1, but then I think you don't have to worry about it as much. So yeah, Kuzan comes back out, draws a card. You could see him play the event now. He still doesn't have a Gecko in hand. He's risking it. Oh wait, did he have a Gecko? I did see some purple at the end. Okay, so yeah, no Gecko in this search. That's good. Could still be in the next card that he draws. Takes a 2-cost Luffy here. I'm trying to see if that last card on the very right in his hand was a Gecko Moria. So 2-dan leader swings 7 at Brook. Gets blocked. I'm assuming it's at Brook. Okay, is that a Gecko? Did I see a Gecko? Let's see Sabo. Kuzan. Oh yeah, that's a purple card, Gecko Moria. That's why he played the event. Right, now he's comfortable with at least 1 Gecko Moria loop. Okay, so passes to Lucci. So I believe Lucci's at 8-dan now, right? Could see a Gecko just for value. Just have a big body out. Does he even have one? Would be unfortunate if he doesn't, because now would be the best time to play it. Or he also wants to get rid of the Kuzan, right? Because if he plays Gecko and then he has Egghead Luffy, the Gecko Moria dies anyway. So if you can get -3 cost to the Kuzan, the Brook can kill it. But that would be like another Sudu. If he still had that Khalifa that he has out on field in his hand, that'd be the perfect time to play it right now. But he happens to discard one with his leader ability hit. Unfortunate. A Jack could work if he has a Jack. Jack the Kuzan. Or a Spandine. You can Spandine the Khalifa out right now. Spandine. I'm trying to see what's in his hand. He's holding it so secretly. I see a Tempest Kick. That's not... I guess Tempest Kick could work. Does he have 10? I didn't count his discard. Okay, let's try to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can't count that fast. Yeah, Tempest Kick and then Brook attacks. But that would leave the BY Luffy at 1 life. I do see the Jack. Why not just play the Jack? Okay, he does Tempest Kick here. Is he at 10? I guess he's counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so no minus cost. He just wanted to cycle. He could still Jack for 7 Dawn, and he does Jack. Kill the Kuzan here. Yeah, I feel like this is the best you could ask for on your 8 Dawn turn. Right. Yeah, Gecko is probably worse. I like this Jack play more. Okay, so passes to BY Luffy. So 9 Dawn, 2 life. He has to set up for a leader ability Lupin. He does have only 1 Gecko the last time we checked, so we could see this game play out differently. Right, he's not having to be a 9k base leader for 3 turns that the Lucci can't get around. Okay, there's the Gecko I saw. For sure now this time I know he has a Gecko in hand. 4 Dawn for a 3rd Kuzan, oh my god. And then plays out a Sabo to protect it. So yeah, this Kuzan is surviving to get rid of Gecko Moria's next turn. That's crazy. I did see another Gecko Moria picked up, oh my god. It's cruise control mode from this point on, right? He's got a Kuzan to answer the Lucci's Gecko Moria, and then he has Gecko Morias on his next 2 10 Dawn turns to keep his board alive and be a 9k base leader. He just needs a way to take 2 life, which he has 2 Hyoris, so that could work too. Okay, so Lucci also needs to answer back on the opponent's board with a bunch of like Kaidos and stuff. Lucci started cutting out the 6 cost Brook too, just because the mirror isn't as prevalent anymore. So actually, yeah, the landscape of the meta at the moment being like Doflamingo, Purple Luffy, and Shanks heavy did make BY Luffy have a better matchup into Lucci, which is why I think we see BY Luffy in the final stages here. There was quite a lot in the top cut too, I believe. Okay, so took the 7k? No, it's a 5k from the leader. Is that what happened? You don't want to throw a counter for it, you just need cards in hand, hoping to find a Kaido or something to get rid of this Kuzan. Right, if you can kill this Kuzan, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a 4th one, so you can safely develop your Geckos. But we'll have to see. That's still yet to be seen. Yeah, crazy how it works out, that the meta shifts makes BY Luffy even better into Lucci than it was before. Because Lucci doesn't have to heavily counter this deck. He has to counter every other strong deck in the meta now. Okay, 5 out lead. But yeah, Lucci also does really well into Doflamingo, Purple Luffy, so he's poised to do really well in this meta, which is why we see him in the finals here. So I'm not surprised about that. I think even in my like my last like ranked data analysis video, I made the meta call that BY Luffy and Lucci were gonna increase in popularity. So we could see increase in Bello Betty and an increase in Lucci. That's my prediction. And then also Black Yellow Luffy to counter the Lucci. Yeah, I would be on the lookout for these 3 decks personally. Just because, yeah, like they had good matchups. It's just they weren't new tools. So people weren't excited to play it on ranked. But we see at the highest level of plays, these 2 pros, they're still playing it. They're still dominant in the meta. They made it to the finals. So Khalifa does swing 5, gets met with the 2k here. And I believe the leader hit for 5 was taken, as I was ranting about why these 2 leaders showed up, even in OP09. Okay, so Brook swings 5 too, he's just burning all the counter he can out of hand. Right, I don't think he's safe to take this life yet, because he still has Jack and even the Sudu can attack. Right, if you don't have like a Gecko Moria or another Jack to play, might as well just attack with Sudu for 8 Dawn. So the Sabo could block here, but then if he blocks, that means he has to defend 8k with counter. So I don't think you block, I think you counter. Or take it, okay. Taking works too. It's 8k Jack, you chump block this. So it's either Gecko Moria or 8k Sudu, which would be the perfect time to rip 2 cards out of hand. He's smiling. It might be happening. He devilish smile, 8k Sudu swing. I think he's really considering it. Oh my god. He picked up all 8 Dawn, and then yeah. Even Cross was expecting it. They had the 2Ks ready. 4K countered. Okay, he's at 0 life. He doesn't have to spend any Dawn to take life. But Lucci did rip a lot of cards out of the Luffy's hand. So I think that was the best play from that position that he could have done. Right, there was like 4 or 5 cards ripped out of the hand. of the BY Luffy player. Okay, plays a second Kuzan instead of the Gecko Moria loops. Interesting. Is there something he's missing in his discard? Oh, he does leader ability now. I guess, I don't know. Yeah, Luffy, Egghead Luffy out, and then the Sabo can come out too, because he has it in hand. So zero life, and then he can still leader ability. No, he can't. He just used it. Yeah. Usually you want to be at like that 1 life buffer, but since your opponent only has 1 Jack out, I think it's okay to be at 0 life. Right, and then at 9k base, the Brooks and the Khalifas aren't going to attack you again, because that's like 5 Dawn commitment. So 11k at lead, he takes. Does not pop the Egghead Luffy. Right, he wants to use it as an attacker. But yeah, also the Lucci not having replayed Rebecca's a bunch to bring back 2Ks to hand is susceptible to a bunch of these 5k swings from the leader, from the opponent. Right, Kuzan can swing 5, the Luffy can swing 6, Sabo swing 6, leader can swing 11. There's just such a low amount of counter in a Lucci deck that if you don't play like your Geckos and Rebecca's to recur them back to your hand, you just have to assume that your opponent doesn't have the defenses to defend against it. So good game sense there. Yeah, checking the discard to count to 2Ks too. Potentially, I don't know what he's counting actually. That's what I would count. We did see a lot of 2Ks out too. The Kakus and stuff were discarded really early on to defend against 5k attacks. Okay, we'll see what let's see what happens for 10 Dawn here. Editor cut out that part where I was like really phlegmy and gross. Jack attacks 10, counters 2 against the 9k base, and then attacks with leader 5 just to mill 2. This isn't gonna hit anything. I mean, we do see Rebecca in the discard. Could see Gecko with the remaining 8 Dawn here. Yep, but yeah, 2 Kuzans on board. This Gecko is not gonna last long. Right, if he leader ability loops, he can pop 1 Gecko Moria with the Luffy and then replay it and then pop the Rebecca and then attack leader for 11. So yeah, really bad position here, unfortunately. So just play out the Rebecca. What does she bring back? Spandine again? Oh, he needs to bring back the 2 cost or less portion too. Okay, it does replace the Khalifa just to have it in discard in case he needs to bring it back to hand. Replaces it with an Uta. Then Rebecca brings back the 2k. And then he can play a 3 cost or less from hand if he has one, but I don't think anything wants to be dumped out right now. Right, you want to save it for counter. Okay, dump out a Span Dam that can find you at 2k. Could be unlikely though, so Tsuru, Lucci, and then Kaido. Dang, you kind of want the Kaido in hand. Has to take the Lucci here. Unfortunate. So BY Luffy's turn. So Kuzan swings right away for 5 and gives him his 4 cost to the Gecko. Might as well block with the Rebecca, right? Because it's gonna get popped. Oh, it does counter 1. So Luffy pops the Rebecca for now. Oh, it attacks with Luffy. Okay. Gets blocked and then pops the Gecko Moria. I was thinking he could pop both, but I guess it's the same either way, right? Whether he attacks or pops. This way he gets to keep the Luffy on board when he recurs it, actually, so that's better. So yeah, he's separating out what he wants to bring back, I'm guessing. So 2 Dawn on leader, then Gecko Moria out. Sabo Luffy, of course. Replaces the Kuzan. Brings back Egghead Luffy and then the Sabo blocker onto life with leader ability. Yep. Brings back the Luffy and then the Sabo. So 2 blockers, 9k base leader. No life though. But yeah, Lucci just doesn't have the bodies to threaten past these 2 blockers, even if he's at 1 life. Or 0 life, I mean. Yeah, if he had like an extra Gecko or a Kaido out on board, he could potentially threaten. But because it's just a Jack, yeah, the BY Luffy's really comfortable being at 0 life with 2 blockers. It's looking like this game might be over too. Yeah, not only does BY Luffy have a strong like loop, it's so consistent. The fact that Gecko Moria is out on the turn that he needs it. Meanwhile, Lucci discarded Geckos, discarded Kaidos. So there's a consistency factor too, unfortunately. So Jack does swing 9. Right, I think if Kaden was able to like consistently play the big cost cards when he needed it, it wouldn't be as uphill as it looks like on board here. So the Jack's 9k was taken, right? No, it was chump blocked. There's no life to take, he's at 0. Okay, does Tempest Kick, I think just a cycle to find an answer. Like Gecko Moria probably. Right, BY was able to find 2 or 3 when he needs it, but Lucci's unable to find his second one. Unfortunately, no matter how many Tempest Kicks and Jack cycles he had to go through. And Khalifa cycles too, right? There was a Khalifa at some point. Okay, just gives -3 costs to the Gecko, but it is immune to KO at the moment. 8 Dawn means no Kaido play. Okay, does play out Rebecca. Yeah, just unfortunate. Just came down to a little bit of luck. That Raigo trigger too really early on was really unlucky too. Just everything going against him this game. Right, deck RNG and then trigger RNG. Not in his favor. That's not to diminish Cross's accomplishments either, right? He's against a really strong player too. Both really strong players. Don't want to denigrate anybody by accident, right? I have respect for both of these guys as they're playing out their turns. I need to fill the dead air with stuff. So I'm vamping, okay? Just let me vamp in peace. Right, I don't have 3 other casters with me to bounce off of. I'm talking to myself here. Okay, just plays out a Khalifa to cycle 2 to fill his hand with 2k counters if he can. Yeah, low-key, I feel like I'm blacklisted by Bandai. I've never been invited to like participate in any official events, even though I feel like I'm one of the bigger channels for the game. So they must hate me, right? That's my only assumption. Okay, they play out Rebecca. Because yeah, a lot of... I don't want to say this in a mean way, but like smaller creators get invites to participate in these events. And yeah, they're probably better at networking than I am. Because yeah, I'm like... I usually keep to myself. I don't really talk to anybody else. That's probably my fault too. Right? I'm not talking bad on other smaller creators. It's just that despite me having more subscribers, I am a shit business person. That's my own shortcomings. So yeah, it could either be my inability to network, or it could be that I'm secretly blacklisted, right? Someone who's in cahoots, big connections to Bandai, just doesn't like me, so I'm excluded from stuff. But that's okay too. I'm just doing my own thing. So Spandam out. Replace the Khalifa. You could replay it to cycle 2 again to pick up more 2k counters. I should probably err on like the benefit of the doubt, right? It's probably a problem with me and not a problem with somebody else. Because if it's a problem with me, I can fix that. If it's a problem with somebody else, there's nothing I can do about that. So why bother concerning myself, right? Unless there's something I can fix about myself. Okay, so Khalifa comes out. Sorry, I'm suddenly become really introspective and ranting in the middle of this high stakes match here. Apologies to these pro players for inserting my own personal neurotices, is that the word? Neuroses into this cast. Maybe that's why I'm not invited to cast games, because I started talking about my own problems. But hey, I made it through like what, 40 minutes of this game before I did that. That's pretty good, right? Okay, so Ega Luffy attacks 6k, gets countered by 2. Kuzan attacks 5. Yeah, it's looking like it just depends on how many counter the Lucci has at this point. So -4 to the Jack. Interesting. So Jack is now a 7 cost. Pops the Rebecca with the Luffy. Leader swings 11, right? He's gonna leader ability first. Does he have a 3rd Gecko Moria? Did he find that 3rd one when I wasn't looking? Yeah, I noticed the Western players minimal amount of piano playing on board when they're like counting cards, but Japanese players definitely like count, or like they play piano like crazy on screen. But yeah, whatever helps you play at this highest level, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Like Cross and Kaden here seem like pretty chill people to play with. They're all smiling, and then there is a lot of like BM salty people in the competitive scene that I've encountered, but these two seem like they're enjoying playing the game, right? Good manners, smiling, communicating all their moves. So I appreciate it. If I could pick any other players to be at the top, it wouldn't be... Wait, what am I trying to say? I'm glad it's these two. I couldn't ask for better people. Unfortunately, Jonas, I think he bubbled out at 3rd. Not bubbled out, but he ended up 3rd. So unfortunately, he didn't make it, but I was rooting for him too. Okay, so it does... what happened here? Leader ability, he discarded the Gecko Moria. So he had it, he just didn't want to play it. Plays out the Luffy. I wonder why. Is it because you want to maximize the amount of counter you have in hand? So Luffy pops the Rebecca. Right, because he did have the Dawn for Gecko Moria, but he opted to discard it to play out the 2-cost brothers in hand. So he wants Dawn for the Gecko to swing 10. 10 at lead. He could just go for game here. No blockers out. Right, it's 10, and then leaders, what, 9k, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15k after that. 11, 15. Oh, 10, 15. If he takes a 10, he can't defend a 15. So this could be the deciding attack here. And I'm guessing he counted the 2ks in Kaden's discard to be confident about this attack string here. Okay, so what? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 10, 14. Yeah, it's game. Ooh, BY Luffy takes it. Cross, you did it! Cross is going to Worlds. Hey, going to Japan. Hey, you need recommendations about Japan? Let me know. Or no, you're friends with Kai, right? You probably meet up with them and he'll take you around. You don't need me. Nobody needs me. I don't have any friends. Okay, yeah, that was the finals. Kaden's going to Japan too, and he's Japanese, so maybe that is especially important for him, right? Going back to his roots. I'm assuming he's Japanese American. I don't know. I don't know too much about him, but yeah, really good gameplay up at this top level. Really exciting match, but unfortunately, it went the way we thought it would. BY Luffy took it. Naturally good into Lucci, right? Probably the best matchup that Cross could have gotten at the end here. But yeah, that's it for this series. I'll be sure to react to these players at Worlds. I'm wondering if they're going to stick to their decks. Is Worlds going to be an OP10? It might be OP10 format, but from the looks of it early on in Asia, OP10 is just OP09 part 2. Right? Nothing gets shaken up, but yeah, we'll have to see at that time. But yeah, if you've watched all my live reaction to the Bandai Card Game Fest matches so far, thanks for watching. Like and comment, give me your feedback on my casting if you'd like. I would take it to consideration, take it to heart. I would appreciate it. And yeah, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Check out my other videos. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Card Kaizoku.